Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to the next reaction, Supernatural Season 6. The last episode that we watched was called And Then There Were None, which I think, looking back on the edit that I did for it, was probably one of my weirdest reactions to date. Maybe not weird, but underwhelming to a degree. I think just, as I said last time, if you watch my episode, I will be repeating myself just a little bit. I think the fact that so many characters got killed off in one episode, and not just like a minor character like Gwen, but Samuel, who was a big force for the season, and also Rufus, who was a recurring regular character. The fact that all three got killed off at once seemed unlikely to me to be real. I've remembered some episodes and some other shows I've been thinking about, and some that I can't quite picture, but I know I've seen episodes of shows where a main character gets killed off and then a bunch of them get killed off, and it's like, it's so unrealistic, and it turns out it's like a dream or an illusion or hallucination or something like that. And so in my head, as I was watching it, I was convinced that, okay, they're not going to kill all these characters off, as I said last time. So I won't go over it too much. But really looking back on it and watching it, it is a good episode. And I apologise if that didn't come across in my review. I did enjoy it. I think I was just so taken aback by the fact that I was like, okay, this is not right, something's going on here, that I'd stopped enjoying it at the time just as much as I should have done. So on a rewatch, it's definitely going to be a lot more enjoyable. And finally knowing that Samuel's finally getting killed off, it's really good. Because I hated him. I really hated him. But I wanted that big, like, yes moment that I get with some characters when they're killed off. What I didn't get with Samuel, because I was, as a comment on Patreon did say, they loved the banality of it. The fact that he just died randomly in the middle of nothing. It wasn't a big important death. And I think, like I say, on a rewatch, I think that would definitely work with some hindsight for me. But just at the time, I was taken back. But overall, did enjoy the episode. Really good. Sad to see Rufus go in general. I was really starting to get into that character. And so I'm really sad that he's gone. Maybe we'll get some more flashbacks with him, or some other... Maybe the actor will appear in it again at some point. Somehow, they like to bring characters back from the dead a lot. So that'd be cool to see Rufus again. But anyway, that was that episode. Let's jump into this episode. So this is Season 6, Episode 17. And it's called My Heart Will Go On. So, either it's about Titanic, My Heart Go On, Celine Dion, big famous song. More likely it's going to be something maybe about My Heart Will Go On after death. Maybe it's someone who dies but comes back to life to be with the person they loved. Maybe it's a zombie episode. Maybe it's a ghost episode. I don't know, but this title kind of says to me, romance, love. Apologies for that quick cut. I got a phone call and I was panicking because there's a lot of things going down at work right now, and it's not a great environment to be in, so I was panicking when my phone started ringing, but it was nothing to do with that, so that's okay. Yes, what I was saying, love, maybe someone dies, but their love goes on, so that brings them back to life. I don't know, I also wonder when Mother's going to show up again, because we saw a bit of her last episode. She was at the start of it in that gas station with the truck driver, but we saw the effects of her on the map. She was kind of like causing a lot of things down this specific highway. Maybe it's related to that. I think it said that she was creating demons as well. She is Eve, the mother of all demons. So I wonder how much she's going to play in the rest of this season, because we've only got, this is 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 6 episodes left to watch. I hope that her plan comes into action fast, whatever it is, and that she has more of an impact in the rest of the season, because when she was introduced, she was really cool, but we've not spent a lot of time with her just yet. But we'll see. Let's jump into the episode to find out what it's about. If you enjoyed the video, leave some comments down below. Let me know what you think of the episode. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already. And please take a look at the Patreon link down below for the full reaction to this episode and to help support the channel. Let's jump into Not the 100, Supernatural, Season 6, Episode 16, no, 17, 18. My brain is all over the place right now. 17, right. Supernatural, Season 6, Episode 17, My Heart Will Go On. Oh God, that says to me that's going to fall and chop his head off or something. I've watched far too many films like Final Destination. Being moved. Oh no. This is Final Destination. Oh no. If you've watched those films, you know there's always a fake out death, or almost death, and then the actual thing. I told you. Oh, is he really struggling with Rufus's death, I presume?
You two just gonna stand there like the ugly girl at the prom, or you gonna pitch in?
Exactly.
This so-called Eve, mother, whatever, ain't gonna gank herself.
Bobby, you haven't slept in days.
I sleep. What are you, my wife now?
I'm just saying that, you know, taking 5 might be a good thing.
For whom?
Look, Bobby, it was
He would probably sleep
tough
better when
for
Eve's
all of
dead.
us,
Because she led to.
seeing Rufus go like that.
You think this ain't about Rufus?
Bobby, he wasn't just a poker buddy.
But it is, though, a little bit.
You know when I knew Rufus was done for? The day I met him. The only question was who first, him or me. Now, you want to stand there and therapize, you want to give me some coffee.
Got karate chopped by his garage door. And these are all blood relatives.
So what do you think, a family curse?
Could be.
Could
Hey,
be.
Grumpy.
Dead family member out for revenge.
I don't want to do crap.
Mother, tell me you haven't been drinking this whole time.
You're worse than a boy.
Ellen.
I'm working.
My God, I'm gone a week and this place goes completely to hell.
Gone a week.
What is wrong with you, Bobby Singer?
Get a pen. It's a long list.
You smell like a bar, you know that? That's why you married me.
What?
Go.
Don't tell me what to do, Ellen.
So Ellen's alive and married to Bobby. Do you ever feel like you missed something?
Sure, yeah, I'm sure you've had a rough week. I read about the recent tragedies. Your cousins, right?
Oh, he's part of the family.
It's a shame, but I'm not that close with my family, so,
So is this stuff related to
5 minutes.
the fact that Ellen's somehow here?
Tell me anything noteworthy about the Russos.
noteworthy? No. I mean, not exactly.
Anyone own a slave?
Oh, jeez.
What?
Routine question.
Is it
Any
though?
ties to the Nazi party?
Excuse me?
Did Grandma ever piss off a gypsy?
Oh, God.
Your life is in danger.
What? What is that? A threat? Are you threatening me?
No, I'm not threatening you. I'm just simply saying that if you don't watch your back, you're gonna die.
It's beautiful this time of year, and the new Trump Casino, amazing. Don't worry about the kids, there's a wave pool.
Trump Casino.
Sure, yeah.
Hello? Who are you? Oh, so she might have been that one from the start that was moving things. Say bye to the nice lady. She's the one that's dropping the gold. See, it looks like she's like part of the business. Organised, she's got a list of people. So is it like Final Destination that like maybe she's killing these people for a reason because they're on a list? Maybe they should have died and they didn't. I don't know.
Oh, these so-called accidents, we're seeing them nationwide. About 75 so far. I got Joe and her crew working on a cluster in California.
Hey.
Blood relatives?
Some yes, some no.
Oh, this would have been
She's gotta
great,
know
but this
what you
seems
do. All
weird.
bodies and a whole bunch of
Bobby
cool
and Ellen
crap.
together. I would have loved that.
I don't know. Oh, don't worry. I'm kicking his ass back to health and happiness.
Who asked you to? The hell with you.
I heard that.
Oh,
He'll be okay.
if this was not necessarily
okay?
real, but
Oh, honey, you're sweet.
if this is how things happened, I would have been really
I
happy.
just worry about you boys. Well, the families all came over to America the same year. Yeah, 1912. But here's the real weird part. They all came over in the same boat.
Really? All right, so what's so special about the boat?
Nothing. It was a boat. It did what boats do.
What was it called?
The Titanic. Did you ever hear of it?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
They were all in the Titanic.
I'll keep digging.
I said Titanic, the episode title. But that's weird.
Name Titanic ring a bell?
Titanic? No.
But it should. It should do. It sank.
So what's the big freaking deal? It's a ship.
For some reason, it didn't sink.
Yeah, I don't know. Well,
A narrow escape. Right, so it didn't sink.
Iceberg.
So people are alive that maybe shouldn't be alive. Like Final Destination, which is why this person's killing people. Oh, it's, what's he called? Balthazar?
Yeah, the Titanic. Yes. Well, it was meant to sink,
Yes.
and I saved it.
Why?
What?
Well, it was meant to bash into this iceberg thing and plunge into the briny deep with all this hoopla, and I saved it.
Why?
Anything else I can answer for you?
Why have we got an episode about Titanic?
Why what?
Why did you unsink the ship?
Oh, because I hated the movie.
What movie?
Exactly.
Wait,
Is
so
that
you
it?
saved a cruise liner because
Because that god-awful Celine Dion song made me want to smite myself.
Celine Dion.
Oh, she's a destitute lounge singer somewhere in Quebec, and let's keep it that way, please.
Porcelain Dion.
You totally butterfly affected history.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rule 1. No Kutcher references.
Ah, yes, unfortunately, there's still an Ashton Kutcher, and you still averted the apocalypse, and there are still...
Hey, Ashton
It's
Kutcher's
just
sexy.
the small details that are different. Like, you don't drive an Impala. Yes,
Oh.
yes, what's an Impala? Trust
I
me,
did-
it's not important.
Well, they in a different car, I
And
didn't
of
even
course,
notice.
Ellen and Joe are alive.
Oops.
Ellen and Joe, what?
Yes, they're supposed to be dead.
Oh.
I save a boat. One thing leads to another, which leads to another 1,000 things, and yada, yada, yada. To cut a long story short, they don't die in a massive explosion.
Oh, they're gonna have to kill Ellen again. No. I can't live through it
Anyway,
twice.
let's agree. I did a good thing.
And we need to save as many as we can. We need to know who's after
Yes,
them.
please.
Sorry, you have me confused with the other angel? You know, the one in the dirty trench coat who's in love with you? I don't care.
Because I got an idea who we're up against.
What?
Fate.
That would make sense.
You
Like
mean-
the
I mean,
and they're
fate,
the
like the fates.
strands of fate
One of them, at least.
from Hercules. That's how I know it.
Greek mythology, like
The ladies that cut the
Bingo.
wires or whatever. I can't remember what it's called.
These ladies are responsible for how you go down.
How do we stop it?
How do we stop
Can't.
fate? Good question.
Well, there's got to be a way.
Or there ain't. I mean, this is fate we're talking
You need to
about.
give it to Balthazar to go back in time and
You know, the
set things
easiest way
right.
would be to get that angel to resink the boat.
That's why I said.
No, no way. Forget it. Apparently, a crap load of dominoes get tipped over if Titanic goes down. And, bottom line,
Ellen goes.
Ellen and Joe die.
Why is this show hurting Bobby so much?
Keep those angels from sinking that boat. You understand me? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Bobby, of course.
It's not right though, is it?
Russo, stop!
Boom. Oh. Oh. Oh.
Get off of me. Unbelievable.
Russo, hey!
Just because
No, 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 no. I've seen that happen in so many films. So you can see her. Interesting. I like her though. Because I really enjoy though the Final Destination movies. I enjoy how she operates. Okay.
Cass,
I thought they might actually die for a second, then maybe Bobby has to convince him to go back and change things.
where are we?
Apparently not.
White Russia.
What? Russia?
Nothing of import, just a tiny matter of averting the apocalypse and rendering her obsolete.
Oh.
I think maybe she's a little irritated about that. And then you go and dangle yourselves in front of her.
So what do we do?
Kill her.
Is that a good idea?
Kill Fate.
Do you have another suggestion?
Sink the boat.
I just mean, can you even do that?
Don't know if that will change her.
Balthazar has a weapon that will work against her.
Of course he does.
That was Joe. 30 more dead on the West Coast. What exactly do those boys think they're gonna do?
It's the boys.
They need to
If anybody
sink the
can pull us out of
boat.
their ass, it's those two.
You know, cleanest fix would just be to sink the boat.
Why would you say that?
Well, because right now they're all dying bloody. It's not the same as never being born.
Exactly what Bobby said.
You're talking about people. People who are loved. Who'd be missed.
What the hell is up with you?
Nothing.
Oh, please. You are a neon sign. So I can beat it out of here, or we could just skip that part. Dealer's choice.
I love Ellen so much. Please don't tell her. I just told her.
So not just me, but Joe too?
You went down fighting. I know that doesn't make you feel better, but...
I promise.
If it was meant to be, then I guess whatever happens, happens.
But that's just my point. Nothing's meant to be. We need you.
I need you.
Especially me.
Don't cry.
And,
Yeah, fine.
Love this song. Why wouldn't you just walk across the street? Not through the knife throwing.
Maybe Cass was wrong.
Like a jump. Oof. Oh, my heart just stopped for a second then.
Atropos,
Atropos.
you look well.
I look like stomped over crap because of you.
Is this on a green screen?
Let's talk about this.
It looks green screened.
About what? I worked hard. I was really, really good at what I did.
Oh.
Until the day of the big prize fight. And then what happens? You throw out the book.
Well, I'm sorry. But freedom is more preferable.
Freedom? This is chaos. But you know what the last straw is? Unsinking the Titanic. You changed the future. You cannot change the past.
Change
That
it
is
back.
going too far.
Balthazar, he's erratic.
Bullcrap. This isn't about some stupid movie. He's under your orders. You
Because-
sent him back to save that ship.
Why?
Oh, maybe because you're in the middle of a war and you're desperate?
Right.
Come on. This is about the souls.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That angel went and created 50,000 new souls for your war machine.
Jesus. That's dark.
Confused.
Castiel.
If you don't go back and sink that boat, I'm gonna kill your two favorite pets. I've got two sisters out there. They're bigger in every sense of the word.
Okay.
Kill me, Sam and Dean are target one. For simple vengeance.
Balthazar,
I like her.
Ah. Awkward.
Set things right before I flick your precious boys off a cliff just on principle.
Sweetie, before we go, I could remove that stick from your-
Don't try me.
I really
Well,
like her.
inserted then. All right, then. Let's sink the Titanic.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, that once you figured that's what was going to happen, it was the right thing to do.
Well, I insisted he go back in time and correct what he had done.
What? Why?
Because it's the right thing
It's
to
the only way to
do.
be sure you were safe.
Come on, guys. They must know that.
So you killed 50,000 people for us?
No.
No, I didn't. They were never born.
Yeah. It's a weird
It's far different from being killed, wouldn't you say?
moral black and white grey area.
Well, then how come he and I remember it?
Because I wanted you to remember it.
Why?
I wanted you to know who Fate really is. She's cruel and capricious.
I'd go so
She's
far
not
as to
cruel,
admit-
though, I don't think.
Well, yeah.
I liked her.
You're the ones who taught me
I agreed with her.
to make your own destiny.
Balthazar really, unraveled a sweater over a chick flick?
Yes. Absolutely, that's what he did.
Wow.
Well, that's
Every
not
time Playboy is
believable.
capable
Not
of
because we know that that's not the truth.
Besides, Titanic didn't suck that bad.
It's a good film.
Winslet's rack?
Leonardo DiCaprio. It's like one of my first. Okay, I think I'm gay.
I guess he does not appreciate the funner things.
Leonardo DiCaprio in Titanic and Romeo and Juliet.
Poor bastard.
Yeah.
Doesn't even know how good he had it.
Yeah, well, what he doesn't know won't hurt him. I say we keep our mouths shut.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Oh. Well, I don't want to cry. That's not okay. Oh my god. Okay, that was my reaction to Supernatural, Season 6, Episode 17, My Heart Will Go On. And that made me really sad. Just like the Bobby element of the episode, which just really hit me. Right in the feels. Right in the feels. I wish the show would just stop hitting Bobby. I mean, we found out from his episode, Weekend at Bobby's, that his life, like, is fine, but he's quite lonely. And there was a woman, like a neighbour, that liked him because of his life that didn't work out. And then Rufus died after shouting at him that he doesn't forgive him for what happened to him in the past. And then he had a happy sort of timeline with Ellen, not Joe, that would have been creepy, with Ellen, and that has been taken away from him. Luckily, he doesn't remember. But I just want Bobby to catch a break. He deserves it. He's a good guy, and he just makes me really sad. So, the episode itself was these people dying in very weird, mysterious ways, which very quickly gave me Final Destination vibes, just from the opening scene, which I said it in the episode. I'll say it now as well. But if you never watched it, Final Destination, at the beginning of the film, there's a big disaster. A roller coaster goes off its tracks, or a plane crash, or a highway pile-up, that sort of thing, and a bunch of people die. But one person has a vision of this disaster, and so you see it all happen, the people dying, then we go back in time, the person stops them getting on the bus, or the plane, or whatever. Not the bus. Was there a bus one? There was a bus one in the 5th film. And then they all start dying one by one in really weird ways, where like someone's in a place and maybe someone will drop a bit of water and it'll seem like nothing, and the shelf will start falling, it'll seem like nothing, but all the little pieces lead together to someone getting killed, this weird over-the-top death, which was like the first part of this episode where he's in the garage and then he put the stick under the garage door. The second he did that, I said, that's going to fall, he's going to get beheaded, right? But then there was the balls that fell over and the beer can that kept moving, the beer bottle that kept moving. So it was clear that something was manipulating the situation for him to die. But I really liked it because it's a really fun death, and it was gross. Like when it didn't even fully behead him, I don't think. I think it went most of the way through his neck, but it was still bloody and quite graphic, but I liked it. And the fact that it showed that someone was moving things around. So it wasn't just that these things were just happening, it was someone was making this happen. Then we found out the family died, and so I thought initially maybe like a vengeful spirit from the family. But then it showed us that Ellen was alive, and that was really confusing because, well, Ellen and Joe died halfway through season 5, in the mid-season finale. They got blown up in the shop. And it wasn't just that Ellen was alive, it was that, I think the boy said something about they called her over, or she was on her way, she was almost at the house, almost at Bobby's. So they knew she was alive, Bobby knew she was alive, they were married and had this life together, and had no recollection of her dying last season. So it wasn't just maybe Bobby having this intimate thing with a ghost or hallucinating Ellen. It was everyone knew she was alive, and that was just the status quo. So I wasn't sure if the two things were part of the same thing. Ultimately they were. And then when they tracked back all the people that were dying, because they were dying across the country and the world, their one family tree kind of connection was their family members all came over on the Titanic. And when they were like, does the Titanic ring a bell to you? And Sam said no. That's when you kind of realised, okay, something weird's going on here, because I think everybody knows about the Titanic. A lot of people, most of the world have heard of the Titanic. It was such a famous incident. The Titanic hit the iceberg, sunk, and a lot of people died. So most people know that either from history or just from the movie. And then when it turned out that, well, when we thought that Balthazar sang the Titanic purely because he hated the film, not just the film, but he hated the Celine Dion song, which made me laugh because at the very beginning of the episode, before I started the actual episode itself, I said, "My heart will go on." Celine Dion song, it's Titanic. I quite like the song, but I get why it is very overplayed. It's one of those songs, if you don't like it, it's very irritating, I think. It's a big ballad song. I like it. I think the movie's really, really good. Oh, my boyfriend's never watched Titanic. Maybe that should be on our list, because it's a really good film, and like I said in the episode, Leonardo DiCaprio, for me, especially like back in the day, oh, so sexy. Him as Romeo and Juliet was perfection, and Jack in Titanic. That's just like, that's my kind of guy. Floppy haired, twinky, cute guy, looks like he's from a boy band. So I was very into that whole Ben from A1, Justin Timberlake, that sort of boy band look was very my sort of thing. Did Justin Timberlake have curtains? But no, growing up in the 90s, early 2000s, when I didn't realise I was gay, but started to put pieces together, I was always very into someone cute, boy band with curtains. like Leonardo DiCaprio back in those films. So yeah, that was very much my jam. And even now, if I see A Boy with Curtains, I'm like, hi. That's what I like. I think Sam, when he has like the hair that's down, like sometimes I'm like, be still my bussy. I shouldn't say bussy on the internet. Jesus Christ. My mother watches these things. Oh, God. I've lost track of what I was talking about. Titanic, and yeah, so he thought the Balthazar stopped the Titanic from sinking because he hated the song, and I thought that was like a really perfect thing because it was so stupid and so menial. Menial, is that a word? Menial, and so silly that I hate the song, so I stopped the boat from sinking. I changed this huge point in history because I was sick of this song. I kind of loved that because it's so petty that I could see some angels doing that. Like when, what was his name from last season, the one that got killed in the 100th episode? Not Balthazar, that's from this episode. I can't remember his name. It'll come to me later. He said, like, I'm petty. That's what I like about the angels, that he stopped this happening because of the song. Obviously, we found out later on that's not what happened. It was because Castiel wanted the boat to not sink so that in current time, they got 50,000 more souls to use in their battle because souls are power. That's been a huge part of the season. As I said, I forgot about the Civil War because there was Mother, who's got her own agenda. We had Crowley, who I still don't think he's dead permanently, but we'll see. But even if say he is dead, he was looking for purgatory. There was that storyline. There was Samuel in the year that Sam had no soul. There was all things about Sam having no soul and what happened there. And there was all these different storylines. I kind of forgot that, oh yeah, on top of all that, there's a civil war in heaven. And that kind of played into this episode, which was Castiel stopped the Titanic from sinking, or got Balthazar to stop it from sinking, so that he had more souls to play with, more power to play with against this war, which is really dark. That's a hugely dark move for someone that we know is a very morally correct angel on the most part. And obviously that's a very grey term, morally correct, because there's no right or wrong in a lot of these situations, but the fact that he would do something like that, something so huge, to have such a big impact on the world, change a point in history, to have all this power, is not like something Castiel would normally do, which means that the war is not going so well. For him to make such a big move, it's cool though. It's good to see like a different side of him and to play on that. I really enjoyed that, but it was very much like, ooh, Castiel, that is dark. And then have the discussion that the right thing to do really is to go and sink that boat, which is such a moral dilemma because you sink that boat, you're killing people on that boat that would have survived. But by sinking the boat, not only killing those people, you're quote-unquote killing the 50,000 people that are now alive. Obviously, it's not the same, they would never have been born. And all the people in their tree along the way that would have never been born because of the Titanic sinking. And so it's really morally grey, like which is right, which is wrong. Like these people are now dying bloody deaths now, but ultimately you kill the people back then, these people would never have been born. What's right, what's wrong? I think the right thing to do was to sink the boat. But I can see why people maybe don't think that. But it gave me very much vibes of, if you've ever watched Doctor Who, it's season 4, episode 2 of the new Who, I guess they call it. And it's not a big spoiler. Well, it is for that one episode, but it's like, it's fine. There's an episode where Doctor and Donna, who's his companion at the time, go back to Pompeii. And long story short, there's a monster, an alien, blah, blah, blah. And it turns out that, obviously, if you know about Pompeii, the volcano exploded, wiped out, Pompeii, whatever. A lot of people died. And in the episode, it turns out they have to make the volcano explode, erupt to stop this monster. They are part of history. They were the ones that caused that volcano to explode. Right? So they were like, well, I don't want to do that. If we don't do that, we save all these lives. But then it's a fixed point in history. It's such a huge part of history. You don't do that, you don't know the butterfly effect of that. So it kind of gave me that kind of vibes. In that episode, it was so emotional. And I wish I could have done a reaction series to Doctor Who, but I've seen it a couple of times now, so I can't. But it was so emotional that they had to kill all these people to keep history as it is, like the Titanic. And so it kind of gave me very much that. Obviously, less emotional in terms of Sam and Dean didn't have to physically go and make the boat sink. It was just a this is what needs to happen. But that was more because of Castiel, Fate, and Balthazar. Sam and Dean didn't really have a part to play, other than the fact that they didn't want it to sink because they didn't want Ellen to die, and Joe, I guess. So they were on the side of, let's not sink this boat, but realistically, the right thing to do is to sink it, as hard as that is. But speaking of that, we've got Fate, who we met this time. I really liked her, one of the 3 Fate sisters, one of the 3 Fates, and she was a librarian-looking woman in a suit with glasses on and a little book with the names in. I really liked her. They kept saying she was a bitch and stuff, but I'm like, I don't know if I agree. I can kind of see why they didn't like what she was doing, because she was giving these people awful deaths. But I guess because I understood quite early on what was happening, and I did feel like it was the wrong thing to do to keep the boat from sinking. I liked what she was doing. I maybe not liked how she went about it. I'd rather maybe she could have just stopped their hearts or something rather than gross beheadings. But I can see why she was doing what she was doing, and I feel like I maybe need to watch that whole speech with her and Castiel again, because there was a lot about, she had a part to play till the apocalypse when they threw the rulebook out the window, so she's kind of a bit lost away a bit. But then they went back and changed history as well, so she's now trying to course correct. So there's a lot of different pieces to play, to read into there. But I just really like the character. I don't know how much a part she's going to play in the show. I could see her being a one and done character, but interested to know if she comes back or if her sisters are in it as well. Like the 3 Fates, they could be a good villain of a season, or a good push for a few episodes of trying to stop these 3 sisters. But kind of, I was on her side to a degree. Again, maybe not agreeing with how she did it, but I did agree that the boat should have sank. As difficult as that is, because I like seeing Ellen back. I love her. I love her as a character. I was gutted when she left the show. I liked her in season 2, and then she left the show kind of, for the most part. Was it season 2? Yeah, season 2 when she left. And she was quite a main character. Left because I had a couple of guest appearances, and then died. And that was really sad, because I liked the character. And the idea that her and Bobby could have got married and had this life together. I loved their relationship, because they were both just like no nonsense, just giving each other shit all the time. And I really liked that. And what could have been really cool. Ellen and Joe still alive would have made me happy. Ellen still being in the show would have made me happy. And her being married to Bobby, I think would have really been a good storyline long term. Unfortunately, she had to die again, which was sad. And sad that she knew that in this timeline, which isn't the right timeline, she wouldn't survive the way things should have played out. And her daughter wouldn't have survived as well. And that's really sad to see, especially because they got such a heroic death. And I'm just glad that Bobby doesn't remember it, because he deserves a break, man. I hope they don't tell him. Sometimes I think like they should know about these alternate lives they've lived and alternate timelines. I think it's fun to find out about, oh shit, like another timeline, this happened to me. Sometimes I'm like, well, the fact is this Bobby was never in a relationship with Joe, so Ellen, sorry, I keep getting that mistake. This Bobby was never in a relationship with Ellen. So if he found out about it, he might have just been like, oh, weird, okay. Like, me and Ellen have never been romantic. So maybe he wouldn't have been that bothered by it. But yeah, overall, for an episode that had quite a silly concept, but silly in the right way, which was, I Hate Celine Dion's song, so I'm going to go back and stop the Titanic from sinking, which had this massive butterfly effect, Final Destination sort of aspect to it. Whilst that was really cool, had a really silly motive, which I really enjoyed. But then it took a really dark turn when you found out that this was actually all about fate, and Castiel did all that to get more souls. It was really dark, and actually I really liked how that all went from like one thing to another. As much as I would have enjoyed it just being the silly aspect of Balthazar hates that Celine Dion song, I liked the dark turn that it took, and I liked fate, and seeing this dark side to Castiel, that he's obviously desperate to win this war, which kind of says to me things aren't going so well. And by doing these dark things, it shows that he's going to lengths that he never normally would have gone to, which is cool. And I kind of like that it wasn't Sam and Dean that solved the problem. I like that it wasn't just, oh, Sam and Dean once again find his fate, killer, problem solved. I like that it was, they kind of had no part to play in that. It was a conversation between Castiel, Balthazar, and fate. But I liked her performance. I liked seeing Balthazar again. I liked Castiel. And I say I like the fact that it wasn't Sam and Dean solving the problem. It was kind of like, oh, this should never have happened. Right, we can go back and fix the things. I think that really worked for the episode. It was really good. But overall, really good episode. Some silly bits, some fun bits, some good deaths. But yeah, really strong episode. Really enjoyed it. And as always, my name is Scott, Let me know down below in the comments what you thought of the episode. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and take a look at the Patreon link down below to support the channel and watch full reaction to this episode. Thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you all very soon for the next episode of Supernatural Season 6. Bye guys, take care, stay safe.